Do you know that in just the first 10 months of Donald Trump's administration as the President of the United States of America, 3,500 African migrants were deported back home by the US immigration? And the worst part of it is that most of these people had no criminal record, even though some reporters said that most of them were criminals. But of course, some of them were very innocent and they were still deported. Your life and your status can just change overnight. And the reason is that is because policies change, governments change. The next president can come in and say all Africans should go back and then stay in the country. Another president will come like Donald Trump right now and deport everybody back. But ask yourself this honest question: if something goes wrong tomorrow, what are you going to do? What assets do you have that you can rely on? What is that investment that you know that even if anything happens to me right here now, my children are not going to feel the impact? My loved ones, my family, my parents, my mother, nobody around me is going to feel the impact, because if I lost my job, I lost my status, if I'm deported, I can take this investment, I sell it, I take the money, I invest in this other business and stuff like that. Which do you have? And that's the truth nobody wants to really admit, right? But here's the good news: there is an investment, right? Or there is a tangible asset that you can start investing or buying now and putting your investment back. So much so that before anything wants to happen, you won't even have to be thinking, what will I do? You'll be thinking, what will I do with this property? And that is real estate. That is land. Land is there, it's appreciating every day. You are seeing it every day. You have options with property, with land. You have options, right? There's nobody that can wake up early in the morning and say this land no longer belongs to you. No, because when you buy a property, you have the ownership documents. You have full ownership of that property. And the sweetest and the good news of it is that you don't even need to be back here in Cameroon before you buy land. You can look for a genuine real estate company or genuine real estate consultant. You buy your property or your land through them. They send you the scanned copy, or they can use DHL and send you the documents. Then you upload, you scan, make sure that you scan your ownership documents, you upload on iCloud or on Google Drive, right? That's saving the documents there, because that's one of the things I do for my clients. When a client buys a property from me, I make sure that I scan the hard copies, I upload to my Google Drive. Anytime that client loses the documents, or anytime the client wants the document, if the client's not on C, the client can just get to me. I just download from my Google Drive, I download the original documents from my Google Drive, and I send to the client, right? So that's how you can start building an investment that you can fall back on. It can be like your contingency plan. In fact, if you are in the US, your status is not a guarantee, it's not security. Your job is not security. Even your resident permit is not security, because most of the people they even deported are people who had resident permit. When I read the news on NBC, I was shocked. I was like, how can this even happen? A lot of people were coming back home with regrets, but you don't have to. And another tip: if you want to buy a property here in Cameroon, look for areas or cities where development is heading. For example, Boya. Do you know that Boya right now is like the land bubble of the whole country? Everybody wants to buy land in Boya. Everybody wants to buy land in places like My 16, places like Munya, places like Pokwango, places like Bova, places like Moliko. Everybody is heading towards Boya because Boya is an educational hub zone. There are a lot of universities here, and there are a lot of industries now, or diaspora companies that are trying to invade in Boya and build up, so that when the development is now fully here, they will have a place or a stake in the market. So if you want to start building your real estate portfolio or real estate investment right now, you can call me or reach out to me using the numbers on your screen, so that I can help you get started. And one of the sweetest part or the highest part of real estate that brings return on investment is land banking and aggregating land, not for the purpose of building, right? We're going to buy low value properties, or properties that is in underdeveloped or developing areas, properties for 1 million, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3 million, and then we keep. After 5 years, trust me, if you bought just 10 of your if you bought just 10 of this land, the only regret you are going to have is that you didn't buy more. You'll be like, Daniel, why did you force me to buy more properties? Why? Because look at one property here. In fact, I heard of a story of one guy in Nigeria who bought two properties in a location. He bought two lands, two plots, right, for 10 million naira each. That's 20 million naira. And 10 years later, he just went abroad. 10 years later, he came back. And guess what? One plot of land there was selling for 128 million. He almost fought the real estate company. One of the real estate company from whom through which he bought from is the real estate company of one of the people I really respect in the real estate industry, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. One property was 120 million, and he bought just two at that time. And that time he was even shouting that how can a land banking property be 10 million francs per 400 meters squared? He bought two, 20 million. And 10 years later, he was selling one for 128 million naira. Calculate the return on investment. So if you want us to help you start building your land banking portfolio, send me a message using the numbers on your screen, or you can even call me directly. I'll be waiting for your call, and have a nice day. I thought I should just bring this good news to you. Ciao. Peace out.